What up, solo players? I've got some very exciting news to share with you guys today. As most of you guys know, I've been wanting to see an offline version of co-op since its release into the game in September. Well, it looks like that actually might be happening. Dataminers have found an offline co-op mode in the files of the game. A data miner known as Mophead even posted a video showcasing a work in progress of the mode, so it appears DICE is currently working on the game mode to be playable offline by yourself in single player. From the files, it's currently separated into two different modes under instant action called Missions Attack and Missions Defend. And the regular instant action mode we have right now is called Supremacy in this menu. As it sounds, we'll be able to play the attack and defend game modes of co-op offline across all the maps it's available for in multiplayer. Of course, Mophead's video shows that it's a work in progress and that it's not quite finished yet, but nonetheless, by the gameplay he's posted, it looks incredible and I'm extremely excited for this if it turns out to be a feature we're actually getting. What's most interesting to me is that I had a feeling the developers at DICE might have been planning something big for instant action since the new Age of Rebellion update dropped earlier this week. What made me cautious of this is that the developers were responding to a lot of instant action questions out on Reddit and Twitter, and they don't usually do that often. All their responses said that they would talk about instant action next month in March. Ben even responded to a question out on Twitter the other day with someone asking if co-op would be coming to offline. Funny enough, this was in French and he responded to it. But he responded by saying that it was something they were talking about, but nothing they could share. Nonetheless, seeing two different developers respond to at least 4 instant action questions saying the same thing about talking about it next month made me raise my eyebrow. In fact, I even shared my offline co-op video on Twitter earlier this week and tagged a few of the developers in it, and one of them even liked it. Now, I've never seen them like anything unless it was a feature or request that was actually coming to the game. However, none of this is officially confirmed yet, so take it all with a grain of salt. But while it's not officially confirmed by the developers, I think we have a strong chance of seeing offline co-op make its way to instant action. However, I don't think we'll see it next month. As much as I would love to have offline co-op next month, I do believe the developers have a lot of tweaks to do to it first to make it balanced enough to play by yourself offline. I don't think it'll be a one-to-one port, especially with the fact that they have to trim the number of AI that appear on the battlefield back on consoles. If I had to guess, I would say we'll likely be getting the original trilogy maps for regular instant action next month, and the developers will announce that they'll be releasing the co-op mode for offline over the next few months, meaning we'll get new maps for it every month until they've all been released for offline. I say this because judging by the wording of the responses, the devs said they would talk about instant action next month, not release any content. This is just my guess though. It would be a pleasant surprise to get all the maps or even a few maps for offline co-op next month, but one can only hope. With that said, currently if you play on PC, you can experience 8 out of these maps in a mod right now that seems to be close to completion. Next, I've seen a lot of people wonder why the offline community would want an offline co-op mode if we already have instant action with command posts. So I'm going to break it down for you through my perspective. The playstyles of them are vastly different. Even the attack and defend versions of co-op are different from each other. Co-op mode offers a more chaotic, pressure-based game mode than your standard instant action match. Instant action is more free-flowing in that you have the freedom of attacking or defending a command post at your desire. However, each instant action map is limited to a certain section of the map, and on consoles, where the AI is a lot smaller than PC, sometimes the maps can feel very empty because the small number of AI is scattered across these large maps. Also, you don't get to experience and battle on the entirety of DICE's beautifully crafted large maps, just a decently sized portion of them. Co-op mode, on the other hand, forces you and the AI to focus on specific command posts, so there's guarantee that there'll be action happening on those command posts. Then there is the reward system in the attack phase, in which if you successfully capture a command post, you move on to a new part of the map, which also gets harder. Because of this, the game mode allows each map to be fully playable since you have to move to different areas on each map. On Naboo, for example, the inside of the palace isn't playable in instant action. All the command posts are centered outside. In co-op, however, you go from the streets of the palace all the way to the throne room inside the palace, and that entire experience can give you an adrenaline rush. The other huge difference co-op has to offer over instant action is that it's probably the closest thing offline players will get to offline galactic assault. Co-op feels more immediate and objective based. You're taken for a ride across the entirety of each map. co-op forces the battle to take place in select areas, and it's up to you and your team to defend or attack that area, and if you're unsuccessful, there are consequences, and if you are successful, you're rewarded. However, these rewards and consequences aren't as immediate as instant action, in that you either win or lose the entirety of the match. If you're successful at capturing command posts in co-op, you progress to the next phase, which then gets harder, especially as the focus point goes from 3 command posts to focusing the battle at one specific command post, where battles can get insanely fun and challenging. If you fail to defend a command post, you're pushed back to a new control point, and when this happens, you get to battle in a new part of the map, usually one that is inaccessible in instant action in arcade. With co-op, there's more to it than just trying to hold 3 command posts in the same area the entire game, like in instant action. Now don't get me wrong, I love instant action and the free-flowing play style of it, but I also love the idea of being forced to fall back into the base of Hoth because the enemy kicked our asses outside. It makes it feel like a scene right out of the movies, and for me in a Star Wars game, that's the experience I'm looking for. So with the inclusion of offline co-op, we get the best of both worlds in a single game. Honestly, the fact that we're potentially getting new offline modes is just mind-blowing. It really goes to show you how much the developers really care about their community. They don't have to do this, but it looks like it might actually be happening, and that would be fucking incredible. I know offline co-op isn't offline Galactic Assault, but if they add vehicles to offline co-op, it might as well be the same thing. I mean, Tatooine, you're basically just capturing command posts in Galactic Assault. I think this is huge, and if it turns out to be true, and offline players are able to play every map offline against the AI, then this will truly be the greatest Battlefront game in my opinion. I know some of you might disagree, but it's crazy to see how far we've come since skirmish mode from Battlefront 2015. The amount of offline content this game will have, if we get all the co-op maps offline, will be insane. But what do you guys think? How do you feel about co-op being potentially added for offline? I mean, if they add all the maps, we'll finally have the exterior of Jabba's palace playable offline once and for all, since its exclusion from Battlefront 2015's single player. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos similar to this one. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Walkers, draw their attention!